The only other thing that I had to talk to you about was Nancy Guthrie.
Hmm.
So a couple things came out. I guess TMZ is reporting that they got another note that's like, "Oh, there's video, and if you
Yeah.
send me one Bitcoin," and I'm like, "Okay,
Okay.
Sheriff Harvey. Okay, Sheriff Harvey Levin. Sure." I mean, it's obviously a hoaxy one, whatever. Um, but they did start releasing like the exact wording of a couple of the notes, right? So, and the person that's verifying this that I heard is a reporter named Brianna. I think her name's Brianna Whitley, and she was a journalist at one of the local CBS affiliates, or maybe it's an NBC affiliate, but I think it was CBS in Tucson. And I've seen her. She does a lot of videos that are on YouTube. She's a really, really good crime reporter, but she's left there and now she's working with a podcast called Crime Junkie. So anyway, she's read these notes herself that they were sent. The
Yeah.
first couple that they said they believe are legitimate. The first one says, "Hello, Savannah. We have your mother, Nancy."
Yeah.
So a lot of the keywords that people are pointing out there are Savannah and we,
Yeah.
meaning,
More than one.
right. So that's why a lot of people felt like, when I say people, I mean law enforcement felt that this was targeted because of Savannah.
Yeah.
It makes sense. And we, it just indicates there's more than one person. So the second note, I'm going to read you a couple phrases from it, and I'll do it kind of slowly so you can really listen because you're so good with linguistics.
Yeah.
Okay. First sentence. "We never intended to hurt her in all of this."
So they did hurt her.
Right. This is an acknowledgement that she died in the second note. I'm just gonna
think
say
so?
that no, it is. There's no doubt about that at all. Like, that's what the letter is saying, is that she's dead. But things that the she's dead letter said are, "We never intended to hurt her in all of this." Is there anything that you notice about that?
Intended. That was the first thing I noticed was this is we never intended to hurt her. Not we don't plan to hurt her. Not we didn't hurt her. Like, like you would
Like, right,
say.
it was an accident. That wasn't our intention. Okay.
Yeah.
"She perished shortly after she was taken."
Perished is a weird word to use, but I mean,
Okay, I'll do the next one. "She is buried in nature now."
in nature. That's also kind of a weird phrasing. The phrasing in this is weird. It doesn't sound like the kind of words a native English speaker would use.
Okay, so you're getting the same thing that I did, and I think a few other people. Yeah. It's weird though, because most FBI people and people that are talking about this are like, this is just a really eloquent speaker. No. This is supposed to sound poetic or whatever. I'm not getting that either.
I don't buy that.
I am straight up getting that this is from, I did some research on this. And when I say I did research, I played with the AI for a very, very long time. And I took individual phrases as well as the collection of all of the phrases in the second note. Okay.
Yeah.
And what I was asking the AI were the phrasing in this. Use English and all other languages based on the words used and the sentence structure. What are the most likely languages that this could be?
That's translated from, yeah.
Right. So I got, "We never intended to hurt her in all of this." Okay. German, Dutch, and it said Scandinavian. So Scandinavian isn't a language per se. It could be Norwegian, it could be Swedish, it could be Finnish.
Right.
I also believe Dutch is Scandinavian, so I don't know why it said that, but Finnish and Swedish and Norwegian are kind of similar. Finnish, not quite as much.
Yeah.
So that's what hit on that sentence. She perished shortly after she was taken. Same thing.
Really?
She is buried in nature now. Same thing. German,
Oh.
Scandinavian, Dutch. And then the other two, it just said, it doesn't really sound like anything. It could be English. But those three phrases hit that way. And when I put them all three together, and I mean, I'll show you the breakdown when this is over, because we're going to wrap this up soon.
Yeah.
But it really breaks it down, all of it, each individual word. This is what Americans would write. This is what other English speakers would say.
Yeah.
This is how it sounds. Like the word perish, it sounds literary, translated. What else did it pick up on? She is buried in nature now. Native Americans would almost never say buried in nature. They'd say buried in the woods, buried in a forest, buried outdoors, buried someplace in the countryside. The expression buried in nature is much more characteristic of countries where natural burial is considered a cultural concept.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know enough German to know it, but that makes
because buried in nature and those language also is the same as saying return to nature. Like it's the same thing, the same words used to say both things.
Okay, right. What I was going to say is there's probably a phrase that literally translates to buried in nature that is more commonly used in one of those countries.
Right. It might be return to nature.
Right. Or just to mean, but this does sound like somebody who wrote something in their own native language and went on Google Translate and tried to translate each word to make it, because Google Translate will do that. It'll translate the word literally to like a literal meaning, even though it's not the colloquial meaning. Like it maybe means the same thing, but it's not how someone would use that word.
So nothing you could have done could have changed the outcome. This is perfectly grammatical, but an English speaker would say would have changed the outcome, not could have done, could have changed the outcome.
Yeah.
So it isn't wrong. But the AI thinks that it sounds translated because many European languages don't distinguish could and would in the exact same way. But it doesn't strongly point to any one language.
Yeah.
It says
doesn't sound Mexican either.
It said the overall style of these phrases are emotional distancing. Instead of saying we killed her, it says she perished. Instead of saying we buried her, she is buried.
Yeah.
It says there's passive framing. The vocabulary is really formal, perished, outcome, intended. And then when it says what language fits best and why, German, Danish, Swedish, Norwegian, Dutch, Japanese, Spanish.
So Spanish is in there.
It says it's possible, but it's very, very less compelling, and it's probably not reasonable to assume that it's Spanish.
Okay.
It's really strong for the German, Danish, Swedish, Norwegian, Dutch.
Yeah.
So that whole Northern European. Yeah.
Interesting.